We're going to dive into a pretty simple story today, but trust me, it packs a punch. It's all about this idea that your whole world, your entire reality, can pivot on just one single thought. So, how does that even work? Let's find out. So, let's start with the big question right up front. Can a single thought really change your life? I mean, it sounds a little too simple, right? Almost like a fairy tale. But the answer, as we're about to see, is found in a little village that's dealing with some very, very real struggles. All right, I want you to picture this place. It's a small village, and the people there, they work so hard. They're farmers, they're carpenters, putting in the work day in and day out. But life? Well, it's tough. It's completely unpredictable. One season, the crops might fail. The next, someone gets sick. There's just this constant feeling of worry that hangs over the whole community. So right in the middle of this village of worries, we meet our two main characters, and they could not be more different. First, there's this wise old lady. She seems almost untouched by all the hardship around her. And then there's a young woman named Radha, who is just completely drowning in it. And the difference between them is just, wow, it's so stark. You have the old lady who's been through a lot herself. She lost her husband, lives all alone, but she just radiates this warmth and happiness. And then you have Radha, who, you can just see the weight of the world on her face. She carries all that village hardship with her every single day. Well, as you can imagine, Radha eventually just hits a wall. She reaches her breaking point. She's feeling completely hopeless. And in her desperation, she goes to find the one person in the whole village who seems to have it all figured out, that wise old lady. And what she says is it's heartbreaking because it's so real. She explains that her husband left for the city to find work, but nothing. No word, no money. She's terrified for her family. Her mind is just racing with these awful questions like, what if he can't find a job? What if he's forgotten all about us? And the old lady's response, it's so simple, it's almost shocking. She doesn't give her a 5-step plan or some complicated solution. Nope. She points right at the source of all that pain, Radha's own thoughts. She's basically saying, hey, there's a direct line between what's happening in your head, how you're feeling in your heart, and what happens in your life. But she knows just telling Radha this isn't enough. So, to really get the point across, the old lady does something timeless. She tells a story. Just a simple little parable designed to completely flip Radha's point of view. Okay, so here's the story she tells. It's about a man, and he's just sitting by a river. He has absolutely nothing. No food, no money, no family. He feels totally empty, completely alone. Which, of course, is a feeling Radha understands perfectly. And this man asks a question that could have come straight from Radha's own mouth. I have nothing. How can I possibly be happy? It's that feeling of total despair, right? When you're at rock bottom, finding even a sliver of hope feels impossible. And this is the secret. The man gets this piece of advice. Stop focusing on everything you've lost. Look around. Start seeing what you do have. The river flowing by, the trees, the sun in the sky. It's so simple but so profound. Peace isn't about getting what you want. It's about appreciating what's already right in front of you. This really breaks it down, doesn't it? It shows the two paths so clearly. On the one hand, you have negative thoughts, and it's like you're caught, tangled up in thorns, totally trapped. But then you look at the other side, the positive thoughts, and you see this lightness, this freedom. It's a whole different vibe. And it's not just about, feeling better. It's about finding the actual strength to get yourself unstuck. Okay, so that's the big idea. But how do you actually do it? How do you turn that wisdom into a real everyday thing? Well, the old lady gives Radha a super simple daily routine. And the key word here is practice. This isn't a magic wand. And this practice, it's just beautiful in its simplicity. Here's what she tells her to do. Step 1, the moment you wake up, before anything else, set a positive intention for your day. Step 2 is just to tell yourself today will be a good day. Now, this doesn't mean you ignore your problems or pretend they don't exist. Not at all. It's about making a choice, the choice to face whatever comes your way with a hopeful heart. Because that hope, that's what gives you the strength to keep going. And you know what? Radha actually does it. She really takes this advice to heart. Every single day, she does the practice. She's consciously, actively shifting her focus away from fear and toward hope. So a few weeks go by of her doing this mental work, day in and day out. And then a letter arrives, and it's from her husband. He found a job. He's sending money home. It's the exact thing she'd been training her mind to believe could happen. Now, you could say, oh, it's just a coincidence. Or maybe, just maybe, her new mindset gave her the strength and resilience she needed to just hold on long enough for that good news to finally get to her. Radha is, of course, overjoyed. She runs and shares the good news, and her story, it becomes like a little spark of hope for everyone. Her transformation isn't just about her anymore. It starts to ripple out, inspiring the whole village. And the old lady brings it all home with a final lesson. She says, look, problems are just a part of life. They're always going to be there. But, and this is the big but, facing them with hope instead of despair, that's the key. That's how you get through them. It's like you're opening a door and inviting good things to come into your life. So, let's be super clear about what we mean by positive thinking here. This isn't about toxic positivity. It's not about pretending everything is fine when it's not. It's something much more powerful. It's an active mindset. It's the practice of looking a challenge straight in the eye and believing deep down that you have the strength to figure it out. And really, that's the ultimate lesson of this whole story. The villagers, they saw what happened with Radha, they heard the old woman's wisdom, and they started to change their own way of thinking. And their lives got better. Not because of some magic spell or some lucky break, but because they finally tapped into a power that was inside them the entire time. And that brings this whole thing right back to us, doesn't it? To you and me. We've just been handed this really simple but incredibly powerful tool. So I guess there's only one question left to ask. What's the one good thought you're going to choose to start your day with tomorrow?